one of the things that you're involved with regarding quality of life that I wanted to touch on, because I wanted to get an update on it myself, is the dam removal in the Mahoning River, and I wanted you to talk a little bit about where you are in that and what that's going to look like when it's done.
We're in a great place with that. I'll go back to when I came over to Eastgate years ago. They said that'll never happen. 9 years, $90 million, and we now have 2 out. We have 4 to go in the next year. The 3 in Youngstown and the 1 in downtown Warren will be removed within a year. So that'll put us up to 6. 2 more to go into the end of 2024, and then the last one is the major hurdle, is the Girard Dam. We don't have funding for that one yet. We do have the funding in place for the other 8. So 8 of the 9 are funded. It's just a matter of going through the procedures. The 9th one, again, we don't have the funding. It's the biggest one. It's a $10 million ask. I think there might be an opportunity to capture some funding, but what's important on that one is we need to continue to work with the businesses upstream of the river to ensure that we don't negatively impact them. And that's what we're doing right now. We're having those conversations and seeing how we can make everybody whole and make sure everybody can continue to operate their business. But I do believe that funding will come into place. We'll get in agreement with the businesses, and I hope by the calendar year 2025 to have all the dams out of the river.
Where are these dams at?
Well, we have 3 in Youngstown right now. Right. The one we can almost see over here by the Marshall Street Bridge. The one's by Center Street Bridge, and the other one is by Crescent Street. Those are the 3 in Youngstown. Lowville's is out. Struthers is out.
Right.
The other one going this year is the one in downtown Warren. I think it's called Summit Street.
Yeah.
And then there's one in Warren Township. And then one in Leavittsburg for the following year, and then the Girard Dam would be the 9th.
The Leavittsburg, that's the one that's got to go.
Yeah, they all got to go. But again, I think people have to understand the dredge. We have to dredge them for the sludge behind them. Those were the toxic materials that got trapped there from the mills half century ago.
Right.
We dredge that out. Sometimes that dredging, because we test the waters, the EPA, Ohio EPA does. You test, see how much of it has to be removed. You dredge it, then you knock the dam down. Returning the river to a free-flowing state cleans itself, but when you remove the dredge materials, we'll be back to where we want it to be. We want the river to be a clean river. In part of we're actually have a company looking at it saying once the dams are out, they want to kind of make some type of water rafting park along it. So I'm glad people are starting to see the possibilities.
Right.
I think that if you pay attention to some urbanized areas that have a river going through it, you'll see success.
Right.
And we got to capture that. And I keep telling everybody I want a deck that I could sit out there and have a beer and watch the water flow by and the train go by, because that's relaxing. So we look for those type of opportunities, and kayaks in the river, rafting. We can get in the river, take advantage of the river, so it's an attraction, and that attraction is in our urbanized areas.
Well, I was talking to the owners of the B&O station down here a while back, and we were talking about the efforts to take out the dams, and they were really excited. And one of the things that they mentioned was, how neat would it be to rent a paddle boat from B&O and then paddle over to the amphitheater or to the Cavelli Center and get off there, go watch a concert, and then come back. It was just, it kind of opened my eyes to there's so many possibilities that we could use that river for.
I agree. I was blown away. I had the opportunity to kayak from the B&O to Lowville. 2 years ago, then this past year we went from Struthers to Lowville, but it's beautiful. We have to take advantage of that. And concurrently, part of the additional funding we also received here from the Governor's Office of Appalachia was for downtown revitalizations. And then we're putting a plan. We got $1 million grant there, and we're looking at the communities along the river and seeing how we can revitalize those downtown areas. And there's a lot of money being committed to these Appalachian regions. We're one of 4 in the state, and the governor put $500 million from the state's ARP funding into those 4 regions for these transformational projects. So, the straight math says $125 million per region, which we're one of. So we're looking to put a project together by the end of this year that'll, working with our communities and our stakeholders, that'll invest in all our downtown areas along the river. And that investment might be housing, that investment might be parking, might be parks. We don't know, but we're working with our communities, but we have real dollars coming here. And we're hoping to leverage with private investment also. Warren, I think, is ahead of us all, because they got private investment lined up for some housing down there, which would be outstanding. I applaud their efforts. But we're going to catch up the other communities and make those investments. But I think that we could be looking at next year at this time having a major announcement on real funding coming here. When I say real large sums of funding coming here to invest in our downtown area. So, I kind of think the plan's coming together. It's
Right.
working. So I feel good about where we're at, and I'm excited about where we're going.
717 Credit Union. Business services designed to meet your daily needs. Commercial loans, business deposits, merchant and payroll services. 717 Credit Union. It's knowing you were treated right every time.